When I showed you my index card drawings last time, so a lot of people asked me questions about how I created them, how I was able to put so much character in these faces, and if these are people that I knew or whether I just created them first. And so today I'm going to answer these questions. I'm going to show you how I made them, but mostly I wanted to explain to you how these completely revolutionized and changed my life. These are truly life-changing portraits that I created. Hello everyone, this is Shalina. Welcome to my channel, Quilt and Color, where I talk about all things related to art. Here you can follow me on my journey to becoming a full-time artist. For most of my life, I thought that drawing was a talent. It was something that you either had or you didn't have, and I wasn't one of the people who had that talent. I just could not draw. My brother was the artist in the family, and there can only be one artist in the family. And even though nobody said that I couldn't draw, and I took art classes, I just never really felt like I was good enough. I couldn't be as good as my brother. He's older than I am, so he had more practice, he had more experience, but I didn't know that that was something that I could work on. And even though eventually I did learn that it was a skill and not a talent, and that it was something that I could actually learn it, I just never thought that I could. There was some kind of lock in my mindset that it was something I knew intellectually, but I just didn't quite move that into practice because, my drawings just didn't look like the thing that I was trying to draw. And these index cards really revolutionized the way that I thought about drawing, mostly because it was a very general, simple thing to do. I wasn't trying to draw anything specific. I was just decorating the index card. These are cheap little cards I can throw away if there's a problem with them. They only took a couple of minutes to do each day, and so it wasn't a big time. It didn't take a lot of my time, and it was enjoyable to me to do every day, so I was able to do that. One of the things about doing these as an index card is that it's a daily habit, right? It was a challenge. It was a 60-day challenge to draw one index card a day, and it helped me create a habit that was setting it up. There's things that you do if you watch James Clear's Atomic Habits. There are things that you do in little small things that you learn how to do what you're going to do. So I decided what time of day I'm going to be drawing them, which is first thing in the morning while I was having my coffee. I learned where I was going to do the drawing, which is at my desk where I'm watching YouTube videos or apparently drawing. And then I also learned where to put my supplies so that they would be available to me so that I could draw them and put them away and out of my way when I was ready to do something else. And that is something that by doing it every single day and by making it something really simple, that I just made a face every day, and it didn't have to be a good face or a bad face, it's just a portrait, and I could just keep doing it because they were fun to make. And by doing it every day, what I learned was how to use a medium. I decided what medium I liked doing. Most of these are watercolor. I learned how much water to apply, how much paint to apply, how to mix the colors to get the colors that I wanted, what colors I liked to work with. Mostly it was all these little tiny decisions that you would make when you're making a portrait or when you're making any kind of art. But because this was just an index card drawing, it wasn't a big deal, right? I could just make a decision, one decision a day. Each card would make another decision that would lead me to the path of making the decisions. I would learn how to watercolor paint. I would learn how to use watercolor paint. I would learn how to make a portrait. I would learn how to make eyes. I would learn how to make a nose in different ways, how the brush strokes would change the way a face would look. How to make the mouth and the clothing and the hair and all of that. It's just one little step at a time. There was nothing mind-blowing that I had to make. There's no major things that I had to already know how to make. This whole process gave me some confidence, right? Because what I came up with does look like a face, and it looks like a very nice face, then I developed some confidence that yes, I do indeed know how to make faces, and I do indeed know how to draw or paint. And even though this is not a drawing, it's a painting, it gave me some confidence to know that maybe possibly I could try drawing and still be able to come up with something that looks like what I thought that it would look like. Because this does look like a person, maybe somebody, somebody you know, somebody who's worth knowing. And this daily drawing lets you practice different nose shapes, different eye shapes, different lips, different hair color, different clothing styles, just to see how you can make it look like you want it to look. The daily practice also lets you improve over time. Each day, even though I wasn't trying to critique my work, I knew like which of the paintings I liked. Once I found that there was some feature that I liked about a painting, it didn't have to be the whole painting, I could just repeat more of that and do less of the things that I didn't like. And that way, over time, each thing, just like my YouTube videos, hopefully, I get better day by day. So today I'm going to show you how I make these paintings, these index card paintings. But it's a very simple process. Mostly it's just a matter of drawing a blob. I just draw a blob, and then because it's an index card and it's watercolor, it's going to pool in different ways, and I let where the paint pools to decide where the face, how the face should be oriented, where to put the eyes, where to put the nose, where to put the mouth, all of that. How to paint a simple watercolor portrait. As a new artist, it's difficult to paint a portrait that captures the likeness and essence of the person you are painting. This can make it difficult to build your confidence in your painting skills. It is difficult for some adults to handle the mistakes when learning something new. I found that painting on these index cards helped me develop my confidence. These index cards are inexpensive, and I can put away all the others so I can start fresh with each painting. I can practice painting the parts of the face and learn how each brush stroke affects the look of the final portrait. It gives me a chance to try out different eye shapes, different nose shapes, and so on. Instead of finding a person first and trying to paint them, I make the portraits first and then recognize the person that I painted. I let the watercolors decide for me what person I will paint. The first step is to make a general face shape. There's no worry about getting it wrong. Any shape will work. I pick any color from my palette. Sometimes I'm in the mood for a particular color, or sometimes I choose a paint which has not been used very much. Just paint a blob of a face. I can add the hair and the clothing while the paint is wet because it can blend, but I need to wait for the paint to dry before I can make an eyes and a mouth. Instead of sitting around and waiting or using a heat gun, I can relax and drink some coffee or go ahead and start the next face. This can get really addictive. For the remainder of the portrait, you can use the same color to make a monochromatic portrait or another color to add some variety. You can also go out and add all the colors you want. Since I'm using watercolor on index cards, usually the paint pools somewhere, and some parts of the face are lighter and darker than the others. I analyze how the paint's pooled to decide where the facial features go. I use a stiffer brush for the eyes. So how did it change my life? It gave me more confidence. I've actually started drawing now, and I'm drawing based on photographs that I've taken, and even though what I've drawn doesn't actually look exactly like the photograph that I took, it does look like I'm trying to draw from the photograph. If you looked at them side by side, you would say, yeah, that's her trying to draw that thing. And so I'm feeling confident that I can do more of that. And so now I have more confidence, and not only in my drawing and in my painting skills, it also kind of gave me confidence to develop a YouTube channel, and hopefully I can keep growing with that going forward. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.